At length a gaunt figure was discovered in a ditch. The pursuers sprang on their prey. Some of them were about to fire, but Portman forbade all violence. The prisoner's dress was that of a shepherd. His beard, prematurely grey, was of several days' growth. He trembled greatly, and was unable to speak. Even those who had often seen him were at first in doubt whether this were truly the brilliant and graceful Monmouth. His pockets were searched by Portman, and in them were found, among some raw peas gathered in the rage of hunger, a watch, a purse of gold, a small treatise on fortification, an album filled with songs, receipts, prayers, and charms, and the George, with which, many years before, King Charles II had decorated his favourite son. Messengers were instantly dispatched to Whitehall with the good news, and with the George as a token that the news was true. The prisoner was conveyed, under a strong guard, to Ringwood. And all was lost, and nothing remained but that he should prepare to meet death, as became one who had thought himself not unworthy to wear the crown of William the Conqueror, and of Richard the Lion-hearted, of the hero of Crecy, and of the hero of Agincourt. The captive might easily have called to mind other domestic examples still better suited to his condition. Within 100 years, 2 sovereigns whose blood ran in his veins, one of them a delicate woman, had been placed in the same situation in which he now stood. They had shown in the prison and on the scaffold virtues of which, in the season of prosperity, they had seemed incapable, and had half redeemed great crimes and errors by enduring with Christian meekness and princely dignity all that victorious enemies could inflict. Of cowardice Monmouth had never been accused, and even had he been wanting in constitutional courage, it might have been expected that the defect would be supplied by pride and by despair. The eyes of the whole world were upon him. The latest generations would know how, in that extremity, he had borne himself. To the brave peasants of the West he owed it to show that they had not poured forth their blood for a leader unworthy of their attachment. To her, who had been sacrificed, everything for his sake, he owed it to bear himself that, though she might weep for him, she should not blush for him. It was not for him to lament and supplicate. His reason, too, should have told him that lamentation and supplication would be unavailing. He had done that which could never be forgiven. He was in the grasp of one who never forgave. The hour drew near. All hope was over, and Monmouth had passed from pusillanimous fear to the apathy of despair. His children were brought to his room, that he might take leave of them, and were followed by his wife. He spoke to her kindly, but without emotion, though she was a woman of great strength of mind, and had little cause to love him. Her misery was such that none of the bystanders could refrain from weeping. He alone was unmoved. It was 10 o'clock. The coach of the Lieutenant of the Tower was ready. Monmouth requested his spiritual advisers to accompany him to the place of execution, and they consented. But they told him that, in their judgment, he was about to die in a perilous state of mind, and that, if they attended him, it would be their duty to exhort him to the last. And as he passed along the ranks of the guards, he saluted them with a smile, and mounted the scaffold with a firm tread. Tower Hill was covered up to the chimney-tops with innumerable multitudes of gazers, who in awful silence, broken only by sighs and the noise of weeping, listened for the last accents of the darling of the people. "I shall say little," he began. "I come here not to speak, but to die. I die a Protestant of the Church of England.